Hello everyone, my name is Marah, and today's case is about siblings Sarah, who was 3, and Jacob, who was 2. When they were taken from Gaithersburg, Maryland by their non-custodial mother in 2014. Just a quick reminder, I tried to get the most accurate information I can and do the best research I can. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's case. Sarah Grace Hoggle was born on November 20th of 2010. Her dad described her as his tomboy princess. She loved wrestling with her dad and brothers, but she also loved playing with her dollhouse in her pink bedroom. Jacob Gabriel Hoggle was born on July 3rd of 2012. His dad described him as the sweetest soul ever born, that he was very affectionate and compassionate. Sarah and Jacob also have an older brother, and it was said that if his big brother was in timeout, he'd go sit with him because Jacob didn't want him to be lonely. And their dad's name is Troy Turner, and their mom's name is Catherine Hoggle. Sadly, though, Catherine had struggled with her mental health since she was a child. And in August of 2013, she was involuntarily committed to a psychiatric hospital and was placed on medication. While she was there, she was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. And paranoid schizophrenia is characterized by symptoms of schizophrenia, including delusions and hallucinations. And these symptoms blur the line between what is real and what isn't, making it difficult for a person to lead a typical life. Once Catherine was released from the hospital, she first moved into a group home, but then eventually went to live with Troy and their kids. She was enrolled in a day treatment program and wasn't supposed to ever be alone with the 3 kids. It was also said that she had overall always been a good mother, and it seemed as though she was making really good progress with her mental illness. September 6th of 2014, their oldest son had a soccer game, and after Troy and Catherine bring all 3 kids to the park. So this was just a completely normal, happy day. They spent some time together as a family. On September 7th of 2014, so the next day, Troy brings Catherine and the kids to her parents' home. They live in Gaithersburg, Maryland as well. Troy left for his job as a timeshare sales representative around 2:30 p.m. He says the kids were watching TV and playing with wooden blocks. He hugged and kissed all 3 kids before going to work and told them he loved them and that he couldn't wait to get home and see them later. And then around 4 p.m., Catherine asks if she can borrow her dad's gray 2007 Nissan Rogue and told her parents that her and Jacob were going to go get some pizza. She returned back to her parents' house around 6 p.m. without Jacob or without pizza. Her parents ask her, "Where is he?" Catherine just says, "Oh, I left him with a friend for a sleepover," and her family ends up believing her story. Her mom then gives her, Sarah, and the older son a ride home for the night. Troy returns home around midnight from work and noticed that Jacob was not in his bed, but he didn't realize that he wasn't home. He just kind of assumed that maybe Jacob was sleeping with one of his other siblings. The next morning, September 8th of 2014, Troy wakes up and he realizes that only him and their older son are at home. So he starts to call 911, but as he's calling 911, Catherine pulls back up and he says, "Hey, where are Sarah and Jacob?" And she says she took the kids to a new daycare in Germantown, Maryland. And he believed her, so he told the 911 operator, sorry, that it was a false alarm, that everything's all good. Troy then gives Catherine to her treatment day program and picks her up around 2 p.m. when she's done. When he picks her up, he says, "Hey, let's go get Sarah and Jacob from daycare." And she says she can't remember the exact name of the daycare, but she'll go ahead and direct him towards it. As Troy's asking her questions about, I'm sure, the details of this daycare, all of that, she is not giving any type of straight answer and is just kind of avoiding everything. He eventually tells her that he's going to the police. And Catherine's like, "Okay, but before we do that, can we stop at Chick-fil-A so I can get something to drink?" During this time, Catherine also texts her mom and is like, "Hey, don't worry, Jacob and Sarah are just fine." So her and Troy stop at Chick-fil-A so she can get something to drink. And suddenly, Catherine leaves out the other door. And I can't even imagine how Troy felt. I'm sure his heart just sunk and he realized that she probably did something to Jacob and Sarah. Troy did report Sarah and Jacob missing and asked for there to be an Amber Alert, but the details did not meet the criteria for one, unfortunately. She's also nowhere to be found for a few days, but on September 12th of 2014, Catherine was found walking down a street in Germantown, Maryland. And police ask her, hey, where are Sarah and Jacob? And she says that she left them with an old friend from high school whose name is Aaron. And then after that, she leads them to a playground where she says that she left the kids, but both kids are nowhere to be found. Then 31-year-old Catherine Hoggle was arrested for misdemeanor counts of parental abduction, neglect, and committed to Clifton T. Perkins Hospital, which is a maximum security hospital in Jessup, Maryland. In March of 2016, a prosecutor informed the court that the state planned on charging Catherine with the murders of Sarah and Jacob, and that she also still met the criteria to be in the hospital. And in 2019, the prosecution had another psychiatrist come in and evaluate Catherine to see if they had a different opinion and that maybe then she could finally stand trial. The doctors kept saying that she was incompetent, but they did see some improvement. But this doctor gave the same opinion, that they do not believe that Catherine was mentally fit to stand trial. 2022, they try to see if Catherine is fit once again to stand trial, and they felt as though she still wasn't. Then, due to the passage of time, the murder charges had to be dismissed. The judge who dismissed these charges did order that she needs to remain confined in the hospital under a civil commitment order, which is probably definitely a good thing. She is considered a danger to herself and others. Her diagnoses are schizophrenia, major depressive disorder, and generalized anxiety disorder. And Catherine tells hospital staff when they ask her that they are safe, but she will not tell them where they are. So sadly, this case remains unsolved. Catherine's mom does not believe that she did anything to Jacob and Sarah. She believes that Catherine probably left Jacob and Sarah with a group of people that are taking care of them. There also is a reward for anyone that can lead authorities to where Sarah and Jacob Hoggle are. But I don't know. This is such an incredibly sad and hard case. Mental illness is no joke. And I think a lot of people don't understand it. And I think she was trying to get the help that she needed. But I know sometimes that can't be enough. My heart just breaks for this family, because after all this, your lives are never the same. And you have no answers. They possibly could still be out there somewhere. I don't personally think so, but you never know. I also think it's crazy that it can be just dropped, and I get that, so much time has gone by and she's not been found fit yet to stand trial, but it's just so hard. I don't want to judge or say anything, because mental illness is such a difficult thing, but then also these babies' lives mattered, and I I hope that they're safe and that they're okay. I really wish she would speak up and at least let them know where they are, and not just say, "Oh, well, they're safe," because seen where Troy said, like, she can say all of this, but she's lied so many times. So it's hard to know what's true and what's not. But I know Troy and them are continuing to look for them and try to get some type of answers in this whole case. But yeah, so check out their Facebook page. If you or anyone you know knows anything about where Sarah and Jacob could possibly be, or any details, please speak up. But I think that's all the details that I have for today. I want to hear your opinions. Do you think that Sarah and Jacob are maybe out there and okay? Do you think Catherine did do something to them? But thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye.